Competing with the #1 used search engine in the world is difficult, but trying to gain attention from the massive industry giant Google, especially while calling them every name in the book, your book, is even harder.
There's some things in this world that, grab my attention, I guess, rather than spark my interest, and I think Google's one of those.
Also known as the CEO and editor-in-chief of WorldNetDaily.com, Farah is trying to accomplish the unthinkable: challenge Google. In his latest book, Stop the Presses, Farah discusses his issues with Google from the outsider standpoint. One of the main topics in his arguments against the giant is their deal with China.
The Google execs were interested in expanding their business globally and went over to Beijing to meet with the government there to find out, how they could further their company's aims in China. And they were told, through their own, basically, I'm paraphrasing them in how they told the story. But basically what they were told was that, look, there's certain things that you'd have to do. And, for instance, if somebody searches Google and they type in Tiananmen Square, they better not get any results that would be unflattering to the government, because they realized that, the important thing was making money.
Farah stated he was in fact intrigued by the deal Google sparked with China and wanted to dig further into their business.
If you're asking me what first drove it home that this was a company to be concerned about, well, it certainly was when we saw Google becoming the leading search engine and doing anything it could possibly do so that it could continue to do business and expand its business in China. That was the moment for me.
What he found after narrowing down research from 30 years' experience in the business of journalism are a few reasons why he says Google is evil. The latest find from Farah: a way that the Google toolbar is allowing websites' banner ads to be hijacked. The toolbar is in some way allowing Google ads to take the place of the website's already paid-for space. Farah also informs the readers of reminders from Google of certain, not all holidays, political donations, and the way Google handled a situation with the U.S. government. The situation involved Google refusing to hand over data on search patterns in an investigation into child pornography, even though it did not involve data from personal usage, Farah says. As a journalist, Farah used and continues using forms of media to send out his message. From television shows to radio and so on, he expected to hear something from someone at Google eventually.
I'm thinking, okay, sooner or later, these guys are going to say, boy, this guy's an annoyance. Why don't we answer him? And maybe, don't we have an answer to give to him? If somebody were saying these things about me, I would say, I want to give this guy a shot to understand it better from my point of view.
Farah told Small Business News his main goal isn't to stop Google users from using the search engine, and that he does himself use Google.
I think that perhaps they just don't have good counsel. They just don't have people around them who have raised some of these issues. And so that's my whole point. And, of course, the day I, disengage from Google is probably the day when I stop hyperventilating about about all the things they do wrong.
And interestingly enough, if you Google Farah, everything listed pops up. Absolutely no censoring. Small Business News is still trying to reach Google for comments, but so far has been unsuccessful. Reporting for Small Business News, I'm Kara Ratliff.